Emotional cost can seem too good to be true. It feels like a dream, one that they don't think they deserve. In the next part of this series, we will explore how women can break free from the cycle of chasing what hurts them. It is not an easy process, but it is entirely possible. Understanding the root causes of this behavior is the first step in creating lasting change and discovering what real love feels like. It's important to focus on the path to healing, to breaking free from the patterns of chasing what hurts. Understanding why women chase pain is only half the battle. The next step is how they can unlearn these patterns, heal, and begin to seek out relationships that nurture, support, and bring joy, rather than heartache. This process requires deep introspection, patience, and most of all, a commitment to self-love and healing. One of the first and most powerful steps in breaking the cycle of chasing what hurts is gaining awareness. Women who find themselves repeatedly choosing harmful relationships need to recognize the patterns they're repeating. Self-awareness is the foundation of any change. If a woman is unable to recognize that she is trapped in a cycle of self-sabotage, she will continue to chase what causes her pain. The realization that the pain is a recurring choice, often made unconsciously, is a moment of empowerment. It is the first step toward freeing herself from the emotional traps that have been set in her mind. The journey toward this awareness begins with reflection. Women must take the time to look at their past relationships, not just the current one, but all the past ones where they felt hurt or neglected. What were the common patterns? What were the red flags they missed or ignored? What drew them into these relationships in the first place? This kind of reflection can be difficult, as it requires confronting painful truths, but it's essential. Women need to understand the emotional needs they were trying to fulfill through these relationships, as well as the ways in which they compromised their own well-being. In these moments of reflection, a woman may uncover deep emotional wounds that have not been addressed. Perhaps there are unresolved issues from childhood, moments of abandonment, neglect, or emotional trauma. Perhaps there are patterns of self-doubt that stem from societal expectations of what love should look like. These insights into the root causes of her behavior will help her understand why she chases what hurts and why she feels drawn to people who cannot provide her with the love and respect she deserves. Awareness alone doesn't heal, but it opens the door to understanding and self-compassion. The next step in breaking this cycle is learning to set boundaries. For many women who chase what hurts them, the idea of setting boundaries may seem foreign or even selfish. After all, in many cases, they have been conditioned to put others' needs ahead of their own, to sacrifice themselves in the name of love. But setting boundaries is not only necessary, it is the key to preserving one's emotional health. Boundaries are a way of saying, I deserve respect, I deserve love that is free of manipulation, and I am worthy of peace. Setting boundaries can be uncomfortable at first, especially if a woman is not used to asserting herself in relationships. She might fear rejection or feel guilty for prioritizing her own needs. But the truth is that healthy relationships cannot thrive without healthy boundaries. Boundaries are not walls. They are the parameters that define how a person expects to be treated. When a woman sets clear boundaries, she is taking a stand for herself and her worth. It sends a powerful message, not only to the people around her but also to herself. Learning to say no is an essential skill in this process. Saying no doesn't mean being cold or unkind. It simply means that a woman recognizes her limits and understands that she has the right to protect her emotional well-being. Saying no to things that don't serve her, or people who bring her pain, is an act of self-love. It's a powerful statement that says, I no longer choose to chase after what hurts me. Over time, as these boundaries become more solid, the woman will begin to attract healthier relationships that are built on mutual respect, trust, and care. Alongside setting boundaries, women must also learn to love themselves. This is perhaps the most difficult step because it requires changing the narrative of unworthiness that so many women have been taught. Self-love is not a concept that is often taught or modeled in mainstream society. It is not about narcissism or selfishness, but about recognizing one's inherent worth and value as a human being. Self-love means treating oneself with the same kindness, care, and respect that one would offer to a loved one. This journey of self-love begins with changing the inner dialogue. For many women who chase what hurts, their inner voice is harsh, critical, and filled with self-doubt. They may constantly question their worth, feeling as though they are not deserving of good things. It's important to begin to silence that negative voice and replace it with affirmations of self-worth. It's about telling oneself, I am worthy of love that is kind, respectful, and nurturing. It's about recognizing that love should never require suffering, that love is about connection, not sacrifice. Self-love also involves taking care of oneself physically, emotionally, and mentally. It means recognizing when to take a step back, when to rest, and when to focus on healing. It's about creating space in one's life for things that bring joy and fulfillment, whether that's through hobbies, friendships, or self-care practices. Women who chase what hurts often put their own needs last, focusing all their energy on others. But self-love is about reclaiming that energy, about recognizing that taking care of oneself is not selfish, but essential. As women begin to set boundaries and practice self-love, they will start to recognize that they deserve a different kind of love, one that doesn't come with pain. It's not an easy transformation, but it is possible. The key is patience and persistence. Healing from the wounds of the past takes time, but every step toward self-awareness, self-compassion, and self-respect is a step toward breaking free from the cycle of chasing what hurt. In this process, women can also seek support from others. It's okay to ask for help, whether that's from friends, family, or professionals. Therapy in particular can be incredibly helpful in navigating the emotional trauma and deep-seated beliefs that keep women trapped in painful relationships. Talking to someone who can provide a fresh perspective, someone who can help unravel the layers of emotional baggage, is a powerful tool in the healing process. But ultimately, it is up to the woman herself to decide that she no longer wants to chase what hurt. This decision is a declaration of self-worth, a promise to herself that she will no longer accept anything less than the love and respect she deserves. It is about reclaiming her power and breaking free from the cycles of pain and disappointment that have defined her path. The journey may not be easy, and there will be setbacks along the way, but with each step she will find herself closer to the love she truly deserves, a love that is built on trust, respect, and mutual care. It's important to understand the profound impact of breaking free from the cycle of chasing what hurts. The transformation that occurs when a woman decides to no longer chase pain is nothing short of life-changing. It is not just about avoiding the same mistakes, but about creating a life filled with emotional health, meaningful connections, and the ability to love and be loved in a way that is whole, healthy, and healing. The most significant shift happens in the way a woman views herself and her relationship with love. When a woman finally decides that she no longer wants to chase after relationships that hurt her, she makes a powerful declaration to herself. It is a declaration that she deserves to experience love in its truest, purest form, a love that brings peace, joy, and emotional fulfillment, not chaos, sacrifice, or pain. This shift in mindset marks the beginning of a healing journey, and with it, an entirely new way of being in the world. The first effect of this change is the liberation of self-worth, no longer defined by the emotional scars of past relationships. A woman who stops chasing what hurts begins to realize her inherent worth. She understands that her value isn't tied to the affection or approval of others, but rather to the person she is at her core. This newfound self-worth allows her to step out of the shadows of past trauma and begin living authentically, without the fear of abandonment or rejection. She knows now that she is enough, just as she is. This sense of self-worth, once internalized, creates an entirely new way of interacting with the world. It influences every decision, every relationship, and every aspect of her life. Women who stop chasing what hurts become more selective about who they allow into their lives. They begin to attract people who treat them with the same respect and love that they now give to themselves. They no longer settle for anything less than what they deserve, and as a result, they find themselves in relationships that are not only fulfilling but deeply satisfying. These are relationships built on mutual respect, trust, and shared values. Relationships where love flows freely, without manipulation or emotional cost. One of the most profound changes that happen when a woman breaks free from this cycle is her ability to trust again, both in herself and in others. For many women who have chased what hurts, trust becomes a difficult and fragile thing. They may have been lied to, betrayed, or manipulated in the past, leaving them with scars that affect their ability to trust anyone, including themselves. But as they heal, they begin to rebuild their trust, piece by piece. Trusting in themselves means knowing that they are capable of making healthy choices and that they deserve a love that brings peace, not pain. Trusting others again requires discernment. It doesn't mean giving people a free pass to hurt them, but rather understanding that there are people who are worthy of trust and that not everyone will let them down. It's about learning to set boundaries with people, knowing that trust has to be earned and that a healthy relationship is one where both parties respect each other's emotional boundaries. This process of rebuilding trust is slow, and it requires patience, but it is essential for moving forward. The healing that comes from breaking the cycle of chasing pain also extends to how a woman views relationships, no longer seeing them through the lens of sacrifice and struggle. She begins to understand that relationships are about companionship, growth. Love is not about enduring pain in silence. It is about sharing life's challenges and joys with someone who cares for you deeply. Healthy relationships are those that bring out the best in both people, not relationships where one person is constantly sacrificing for the sake of the other. The transformation isn't just about romantic relationships. It also affects friendships, family dynamics, and how a woman interacts with the world. As she becomes more emotionally healthy and aware of her worth, she begins to surround herself with people who uplift her. She no longer tolerates toxic relationships or people who drain her energy. Instead, she seeks out friendships that are nurturing, positive, and filled with mutual respect. These relationships, whether romantic or platonic, become the foundation of a life that is rich with love, joy, and support. It's also important to recognize that healing is not a linear process. There will be moments when a woman may find herself slipping back into old patterns, drawn toward what she once knew. This doesn't mean she has failed. It simply means that healing is ongoing. The key is to recognize these moments of vulnerability and, instead of falling into old habits, use them as opportunities to reflect and grow stronger. Each time she makes a healthier choice, even in the face of temptation or old patterns, she reinforces her new way of being and becomes even more empowered to live a life of emotional health. There is a deep freedom that comes with no longer chasing what hurts. It's the freedom to be yourself, to love openly, and to experience life without the weight of emotional scars from the past. Women who break free from this cycle no longer live in fear of abandonment or rejection. They have learned that their worth is not dependent on the approval or affection of others, but on who they are inside. They understand that love doesn't have to be earned through pain, and they begin to experience love in its most beautiful healing form. The power of breaking free from the pattern of chasing what hurts extends beyond individual healing. As more women choose to stop chasing pain and to embrace healthier relationships, they create a ripple effect in their community. These women become role models for other women, showing that it is possible to break free from toxic cycles and to live a life of emotional fulfillment. They become examples of strength, resilience, and self-love, inspiring others to embark on their own journeys of healing. For society as a whole, the healing of women who once chased what hurt them can lead to a shift in how we view love, relationships, and emotional well-being. It encourages a new narrative, one where love is not synonymous with suffering, but with mutual respect, understanding, and growth. It fosters a world where women are empowered to prioritize their emotional health and well-being, creating healthier communities and stronger, more supportive relationships. In conclusion, breaking free from the cycle of chasing what hurts is a transformative journey. It requires a deep commitment to self-awareness, self-love, and the courage to set boundaries and trust again. It is not an easy process, but the rewards are immense. As women heal and begin to recognize their worth, they create lives filled with love that is nurturing, peaceful, and fulfilling. No longer do they chase after what hurts. Instead, they embrace love in its truest form, a love that uplifts, empowers, and nourishes the soul. This journey is not just about avoiding pain, but about creating space for the kind of love that every woman deserves. It is about choosing to live authentically, to trust in one's own worth, and to embrace the beauty of a life that is filled with emotional health and connection. And when that happens, the possibilities for love, joy, and fulfillment are endless.